Alright guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something. My juvenile crime partner that I almost beat to death when we were 16, 17 years old stopped by today. I was outside recording that hole out there, and when I was recording that hole out there in the street, seen him across the street just kind of looking at me, staring me down, and I thought for a minute, damn, I think I recognize this guy. Now, understand, since I almost killed him that night, I really haven't associated with him anymore. I stopped associating with him and all that. Then I did see him one time in life since, after Hurricane Ike, when I went to his sister's house, stopped by his sister's house. He was there, gave him a little hug, told him I'm glad to see he's still alive. But before I tell y'all actually what happened, he stopped by today, but sat out there, was staring me down for a little while and kind of grinning. I looked and he kind of waved, and I was like, man, I think I know who it is. I walked over, and yeah, sure enough, it was him. So, okay, first let me tell y'all why. Okay, now, like I said, him and I, we were sticky Steves, man, okay? When I was 14 and 15 years old, you understand, robbing houses and doing things, to be Billy was bad, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all, this was my crime partner. One of my juvenile crime partners, okay, part of the neighborhood gang, okay? So him and I, we was out drinking, doing cocaine, partying, messing with, doing the things, we were sticky Steves, close, okay? Now, at 16 years old, I was living on my own, okay? I got whipped at the age of 12 with a bullet, pretty much been on my own since. But at 16, I was working at the McDonald's on 53rd and Broadway, and I was living in an apartment complex called La Playa Apartments over there on 69th and Stewart, I believe it is. It's just past Weiss School, okay? But at any rate, I was living in those apartments, and my sister over here on Avenue P, the same sister that's living in my mom's house now, when she was 12, 13, 14, she had her boyfriend 24, 25, and 26. Living with her in the house, okay? I did not live there. That's a whole nother story, and it's horrible as hell. Should have never been allowed, okay? This is what kind of people my mom was. But at any rate, he had been buying her an Adobe chain. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, it's a gold necklace where each one of these beads is gold, and you got to buy them individually. He had about $280 in it at the time in gold. Her chain, it came up missing, okay? Joy Madrano, my sister's boyfriend, the old son of a bitch, 12 years older, had been banging her since he was 12 years old. When he started when she was 12 and he was 24, okay? Moved in, my mom was putting it together, letting them live together because she had a crush on this man, I guess. But he is the one that stole that Adobe chain. Okay, I did the investigation after everything took place. Okay, but I was accused of it. When I was accused of it right away, we started pulling out truth. My brother Billy, he went and actually confronted Joey at my brother Donnie's house. They was arguing. Joey Madrano punched Billy in the jaw and broke his jaw, and I took Joey down. Donnie came out with the 12 gauge, okay? Get the fuck out of my house, let's go, okay? So, but Billy went to the hospital with a broken jaw, okay? Now, I had heard through the grapevine what I told y'all, that the Adobe chain had been stolen, and I had been accused of it, and Eddie took some of the cocaine, did the cocaine with Joey Madrano. Joey Madrano did the cocaine with Eddie, and told Eddie to tell my mom that he seen me burglarizing her house and stealing that chain. Okay? So, again, I'm about 16 years old, and I contacted Eddie's sister, and I told his sister, I said, man, you tell that motherfucker, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Okay? Now, Eddie was a bad dude. He was a little bitty badass, at least he thought he was, and, like all the gang members, you know how they are. At any rate, like I said, I was living over there on 69th and Stewart, and then this night I wasn't in my apartment. I was at a friend's apartment where he wasn't there. I was in there with his wife hanging out, okay? And he knocked on her door, and she opened the door, and there he stood. He said, ma'am, do you know where by? And then he seen me in there. He said, yeah, motherfucker, you bring yourself out here right now. Well, I already knew Eddie, okay? I knew how he was, and I knew he wasn't by himself. Kind of figured him to have a knife or something, but I don't know what I don't guess he did. He should have. Okay, but I said, okay, on my way out the door, I picked up a ball-peen hammer, okay? And as I walked out the door, I seen a white boy standing right here. Now, Eddie's a Mexican, okay? And there's Eddie right there. Eddie grabs me. Boom. He says, get him, Bill. So he said, get him, Bill. Like I said, I picked up that little ball-peen hammer. I just boom, 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 boom. Hit Eddie about 5, 6 times. Bill seen that shit, and Bill said, oh, hell no. He said, hey, my name's Bill. I'm from Pittsburgh. Where you from? Okay? So Eddie, he was busted up pretty good, real fast, real quick. Okay? So he was bleeding. He walked off. You know, he shook it off quite a bit. Eddie was high on cocaine. Okay? If you ever tried to knock out anybody on cocaine, trust me, they're gonna make you kill them. Okay? But at any rate, it was all bloody. Hey, you motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you. Put down the fucking hammer. I'll kill you, man. That's what he's telling me, right? So I got mad. I said, man, dude, you know what? I said, I'll tell you what, you want this fucking hammer? Whoosh, and I threw it at him. Boom, and his head bounced off his fucking head. He said, I'm gonna kill you, and he charged me. Well, I was, you know, with the martial arts back then, I was really a karate champion already. And it came out of me, and I did a lot of karate to him. I was hitting that boy hard. I'd whip him a little bit, he'd take off running, he'd come back. I'd whip him a little bit more, he'd take off running, he'd come back, bleeding like a stuck pig. I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. A couple times I was like, man, fuck this shit, man. You know, I don't really want to kill this guy because he's kind of like a brother, man. But you know what, I went into the house and I just go inside, you know. And I went into her house and I went in and this motherfucker, he followed me in. Talking, said, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. I walked into the kitchen, I picked up a chef's knife. Hey, if y'all know what a chef's knife is, it's the big one you chop things up with, okay? And like I said, I didn't want to kill him, I just wanted to scare him. So I was just gonna swing the knife in front of him, whoo, hoping he would turn and leave. That dumbass put his hand up like this, damn near got his fingers cut off. Okay, but again, I digress, man. This dude was bleeding bad, but he was feeling no pain. That cocaine had him going. Okay, so he still kept threatening me, so I went outside with him, I beat him a little bit, he'd take off running. I might have pulled out a knife and chased him away and take off running, and he kept coming back, and I thought in my mind, I said, you know what, this is it. I can't do this shit no more, I'm gonna kill this boy. I'm gonna kill him. If he comes up here one more time, I'm gonna wait till he gets close to me, and then I'm gonna stab him, okay? So I took the knife that I had, the buck 110 or 112, whatever it was, buck 110, yeah, and I opened it up, stuck it in my pocket. Remember, it had run off about a half block. The whole time this guy Bill's standing there watching all this, just watching. He never helped Eddie, but Eddie brought him over to help him beat me, you know, and he didn't get no help. All he did was almost get Eddie killed, because I'm not the one, okay, I'm not gonna, At any rate, I had it in my mind. I said, you know what, I'm going to kill him as soon as he gets close to me. I'm just going to start stabbing him. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to drop him. But I didn't have to, because just as he started to come up, just as I was fixing to stab him, I went to take the knife, and just as I went to pull it out of my pocket, Bill finally said something. He said, that's enough. And Eddie stopped and took a step back. And I looked at Bill. I said, Bill, I said, you take him home, because I'm going to kill him. I'm going to call the police, and then I'm going to kill him. So he took him home. Now, I went and I talked to the sister, and the sister said, hey, you owe me a quilt, blah, 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 blah. Eddie bled all over my quilt. He got a big gash all the way like this. He was fucked up pretty good. Now, I went up to the hospital to see my brother Billy, who was up in there with the broken jaw, because they're going to have to do surgery on him, because he was drunk when Joey broke his jaw. You understand? Drunk spout out all this truth. Now they got me to deal with, okay? Joey Madrano knows better than to fuck with me, okay? Even at 16, he knows, okay? At any rate, I almost beat that dude to death, man, and I hadn't really associated with him since then. When I was taking a picture of the hole today, he was sitting right there on the corner for a couple of minutes, good couple of minutes while I was taking the whole video and everything. He was just sitting there smiling. I told him, I said, you see that hole right there? He said, well, I see a black dot. And And I was thinking, I recognized this motherfucker. I was recognizing him, but I wasn't sure. But sure enough, it was him. So I went over and I talked to him a little bit. Shook his hand, told him good to see you again, you know. And he was smiling and shit, you know. It looked like he got all this real teeth. But this guy smoked so much crack, man. Did so much dope. Okay, listen, those are not his fucking teeth, man. He telling me they're real, and they're showing me, and I figured out what he did. He got the implants, man. He got that. He probably went to Mexico and did that shit too. Cause I mean, you know, it's cheap in Mexico, and he's Mexican, so why not? I know a bunch of them to do it. But anyway, guys, today, the crime partner that I had when I was a juvenile, I'm talking about. We really did rob houses and shit. We did some crazy shit, man. Okay, we was some bad kids, man. And I almost killed that boy because he took a bribe to put a crime on me that I did not commit. Okay, with my mom. But that's all right. Like I said, I ain't associated with him since, you know, and then 38 years ago, you know, like I tried to tell everybody, Linda, my wife, she actually saved me. It wouldn't have been for her, I probably would be dead. I definitely, if not dead, I would have spent most of my life in prison. Instead of working it away, I worked it away doing, you know, hard carpenter work, building bridges, concrete form erecting. I did a lot of hard work. So, but I didn't end up spend my life in prison and on drugs, man. I, you know, got away from all that and got saved. But nonetheless, guy that almost killed. It was my crime partner when we was 16 years old, so he stopped by today. Oh yeah, that's right. While I was in the hospital with my brother Billy, I called back to the neighborhood to the Ordonez house, where I was kind of like an adopted family member. And Gabriel, the youngest one, answered the phone. He was just a kid at the time. He said, Bobby Joe, the police looking for you. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, man, Eddie died last night. And my heart sunk, man. I fell to the fucking floor. Okay, but he didn't die. I'm going to tell y'all what I did now. I knew it could be true because of everything I did that night before. I knew it could have happened. So I called the police and told them, you know, had it happened. And they, you know, asked me, you know, well, where you at? Who are you? Well, I'm at the hospital on the hospital phone, so I know they know where I'm at. It's not hard for them to find me. But no reports have been made of anybody being beat in the head. See, when we was younger, you understand, I've been busted open, okay, by one of us was all in the neighborhood gang. Ray, in case y'all don't know, one night when we was all drunk, I was busted open, man, bleeding from both ears, man, but he learned a lesson that night too, because he hit me in the head with a stick. And when I kicked that stick out of his hand, oh, and it went flying, his eyeball popped out of his head. Now, I was busted open from the stick, but he took a worse whipping than I did. I just looked worse because, like I said, I was covered with my own blood. I looked like Eddie that night. That's a whole nother story, but Eddie stopped by here today, sat out there, just thought I'd tell y'all a little bit about my juvenile history, which you cannot get because my juvenile record has been sealed. Okay? But that, guys, hope y'all ain't scared of me, man. You know, my wife asked her co-workers why they didn't come to visit her in the hospital, and they told her, because we're scared of your husband. Man, what y'all scared of me for? Huh? As long as you ain't doing nothing you ain't supposed to do, you ain't got to worry about it. Huh? That, guys, I'm out.